The Asian Development Bank is warning further coronavirus restrictions could derail the region's return to growth. Developing Asia is forecast to shrink for the first time in 6 decades, throwing tens of millions of people into poverty. The ADB now projects the region's GDP to decline by 0.7% this year. Its earlier estimate in June had forecast GDP growth of 0.1%, but there is a silver lining. The ADB sees a sharper recovery in 2021. It now predicts 6.8% growth compared to 6.2% in the earlier outlook. This year's decline is broadly based. It will affect 2/3 of developing Asia's economies. China will buck the trend. And despite the pain of the lockdowns earlier this year, its economy is expected to grow 1.8% this year and 7.7% in 2021. While China is slowly crawling back to its pre-COVID-19 levels with a 3.2% GDP growth in the second quarter, India is going in the opposite direction. It's heading into recession with GDP shrinking a record 24% during the same period. A deeper contraction is expected in Southeast Asia with the exception of Vietnam and Myanmar, and both are likely to buck the trend with 1.8% growth. Now, the ADB says the risks to economic recovery are centered on two main factors: a prolonged pandemic and geopolitical tensions. An extended first wave and even recurrent waves are likely to take a further toll on supply and demand. That downturn could trigger crisis in weaker economies. And compounding things, the tension between the US and China is likely to reverberate across the region.